Okay, now we're going to go into making the jacket. And I'm just going to select the torso and copy paste it into another layer and just delete the cylinder we used to boolean the head for the neck. And yeah, now we're going to go into creating the jacket. So the first thing, I'm going to delete the polygons that we're not going to be needing, and those are the polygons of the neck area. And also delete one side, because we're going to mirror later on, and hiding the back of the jacket so we can concentrate on just the front area. So I'm just figuring out where the button of the jacket is going to go and how the shape is going to go from this topology. And I'm starting to build, pushing the geometry to create this jacket opening that we have. And deleting some of the, again, extra polygons that we're not going to need in the end. But so just kind of going from the shape we had into the shape that we want to have right now. And now we have our reference image, and it's just a matter of adjusting the topology that we have. And this is a nice way of doing things, because you already have the basic shape for the jacket. You don't have to start from scratch, because we already have the torso, and it's kind of following the lines of the torso very closely. So it seemed to me the best way to make the jacket. And mirroring just to see what we have, what's happening there. And of course we have to create, we have to go now and create this bottom part. Before we do that, just a little bit more tweaking. Now just thinking about the color the jacket has, how we're gonna create, how we're gonna go about making that. And it's just looking at the form and seeing what would be the best topology, the best, the cleanest solution, the easiest, and of course most beautiful solution. So I'm just kind of thinking while I'm modeling this bottom part, what we're gonna do with the color. And that's the unique challenge of making this jacket, is the color that kind of goes and bends, and you're gonna have some thickness, so it's not just like one polygon thickness, because that really rings a little bit untrue. and you have overlapping polygons, that are going in one direction and coming back to make the color. So that's the unique challenge there. And yeah, it's kind of making this bottom part of the jacket. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Now we have to just close up. Yeah, using extrude function, we kind of just building things up. And yeah, in the back we have that those tails that are happening, but we're not going to create that for now. We're just gonna get to that later on. And I just concentrate on the upper part, and later on we're gonna make the tails. So right now I'm starting to create the color of the jacket, and using the extend and then stretch tool, I'm just stretching this outwards to get the polygon, get this line of polygons that you see here. Is going to be the start of our color. Now the thing is, the thing with the color is to make this transition from the outwards to the inward that we see here. That's going to have to happen. So I'm just selecting these polygons to see if how this is going to work. So again, extend everything, extend and drag a little bit inwards, and just I just welded those points to get this transition. And when we go into sub patch, it actually looks quite good. And yeah, that is the challenge with the color. You have this edge, you got this polygon flow which goes from the outwards to the inwards, and yeah, it doesn't look, in polygon mode it looks kind of clumsy, but once we convert it to sub patches, it smooths out and it looks pretty good, and it's an elegant solution. We also got this thickness of the bottom part of the jacket. So again, extrude and push the points to go to the right, and then make the necessary adjustments to the individual points. So yeah, this is a good time to switch on double-sided, because the polygons are actually going from one direction to another. So if it's not double-sided, you're not going to be able to see. And yeah, just hiding this area here to have a better understanding of what's happening, not to be confused by the geometry back. And now we're starting to create that characteristic shape the color has with this kind of a V thing. And we're just going to add one more edge loop here to give me the ability to make this a bit more sharper. This is Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Yeah, it's just kind of I'm doing that. I'm undoing that last change. It's kind of just seeing how to make this a bit sharper, to make this part, that color shape, which is very very recognizable. And yeah, we see that this tip isn't really sharp enough, so I'm going to add one more edge loop and yeah, bring this closer so that this tip becomes a bit sharper. And yeah, that's looking better. And yeah, just pushing it out to exaggerate it a little bit more. So I'm just kind of looking at what I'm getting and reference image, and just kind of finding my way in it, to see. We want to have our expression also, but we also want to be mindful of the character, because Jack Skellington is a well-known character and we have to remain in that spirit. Now these two edges that we added, we can use them very well later on to add some creasing beneath the arms. So in fact, it's good for us. These extra edge loops, we're going to be able to put them to good use. And I'm just, kind of looking and thinking about exactly what I just said, how to use this to kind of get those creases that we have. But we're gonna tackle that later on, adding those extra details. And yeah, it's looking pretty good. Once mirrored it, really get a feeling of the whole shape, and yeah, it's looking pretty good. And just to give it that extra flexibility, I mean, some flexibility at least, I want to put one more edge loop here, maybe even, yeah, and do it like that. That's gonna give us the ability later on to add some, like creasing that the clothes had. And for now, I'm just concentrating on the jacket as far as the tails that this particular jacket has. I'm gonna tackle that a little bit later on. So right now, I'm just closing up this, edge loop. And now we have this situation of connecting this collar with the bottom part. And yeah, that's kind of thinking on how to do that. And the easiest solution is just to continue the edge flow, just to subdivide this to have the same amount of polygons and weld those up. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. It's also kind of relaxing this geometry here, to get a better situation when we go into sub patches, and welding up these points here. So we see some pinching. Also, we shouldn't forget that this is really zoomed in, But once we make those adjustments, it should look pretty good. So just kind of relaxing this geometry here, so it's not so pinched up, kind of giving the polygons a little space to breathe. But after turning things into sap patches, I really wasn't happy how what I was getting there. So I decided to take another route, and I just welded this up to get this 4-point polygon here. And yeah, I like what I was getting right here. So just needed to adjust this end a little bit more to get this nice finish. And at the end, I really like this solution. And quick mirror to see what we're getting. And yeah, we have this overlap, but we're going to take care of that soon. Now just putting all these polygons to have 0 on the x-axis so we can mirror nicely. And yeah, this is what we have. Seemed like a good spot to save our work. And yeah, one side of the jacket is finished. Now we just have to create the other side. Before we do that, if you saved your work and you're continuing, you have to load your backdrops. So it was just a matter of saving your backdrop like we did before and loading it again. And now we're going into creating the other side of the jacket. Now the thing is that we have to put our jacket in 2 layers because they're not completely symmetrical. And before we do that, it's always good to put everything on 0 on the x-axis, so it's nice and symmetrical, and it's going to weld very nicely together. So now we have the jacket in 2 layers, and we can also do some tweaking. We see the whole shape. The reason why we wanted this in 2 separate layers, it's because of the area where the button is, and one is going to overlap over the other, so we cannot have, of course, a perfectly symmetrical situation. So this part of the jacket is going to go in front, so we're going to kind of push it in front, while the other side is going to go behind. So now I'm just making the necessary adjustments. While this layer here, we can just push it behind. And of course, it's always good to go into sap patch mode so we actually see, what's happening, how many polygons are, going through each other. It's a bit different from polygon mode. And now it's just a matter of tweaking things a little bit to get what we want. Now it's very unlikely that we're going to be in such a situation where we're going to see this other side of the jacket. But still we should be mindful, not to push it too much in, to kind of keep it realistic looking even from these angles. And that's exactly what I'm doing right now. So it's just a process of give and take, pushing this inwards a little bit, pushing the other side outwards. And just kind of looking at this area here. I don't want it to be too much, pushed inside. And of course, we should be mindful of the body, Jack's body, which is supposed to fit in there. So just kind of pushing the points a little bit here, a little bit there, and making the necessary adjustments. So nudging points a little bit here and there. And yeah, this is what we have, and it's looking pretty good. Going into a smooth shape to see exactly what we're getting. Still that part looks a little bit too much inside. It's a little bit too much inside. And yeah, it's kind of observing in perspective view to see how it looks. And now it's time to create a button, and it's quite a simple form. Oh, we want to get the size right, of course. Don't want it to look too small or too big. So I'll create the basic shape and then bevel it out to get the button shape. And at the end, of course, we have to remove this endpoint polygon and just create 4-point polygons and 3-point polygons. And this is also a good way to turn these 3-point polygons into 4-point polygons. And it's just a little detail, it's anyway too small to notice if you even get some small pinching from a 3-point polygon. But, it's easy to create it into 4-point polygons by just adding one more subdivision in those in the middle. And you can see, it's anyway the buttons in real world, they always have, like a little bit. Sometimes they have this little bit imperfection on the top, and yeah, I liked it. Decided to keep it like that, and it's just a matter of positioning it on the jacket to get what we want. It's kind of being mindful how it sits on our jacket. Now that the button is there, I'm just kind of tweaking it, according to this new element that was added to, make it respond a little bit better to the button. It's not a big change, but it's just a matter of tweaking things and adjusting them as you continue. So kind of observing how that shape looks. And nice spot to end this session. In the next session, we're going to continue to build more and more of Jack's body.